Hi there. Welcome. What's up? What's up, everyone? Today, well, let's see if we can get anyone in here or how long it's going to take. Hey, first viewer. Nice one. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Oh, um, yeah, I'm just working on the setup still for the live, and I'm not feeling 100%, just so everyone is aware. But yeah, nonetheless, I'll do my best. Oh. Hey there, Smutster. Open your heart to me. Baby holds the lock and you hold the key. I don't know, man. You're not my type. Sorry, but yeah. And also I'm a taken man, so that kind of complicates things, doesn't it? Darling, I'll give you love if you turn the key. Uh-huh. Madonna. Ugh. By the way, down here we have this is a cable wind-on leader. I know you cannot see the cable, but that's on purpose. The cable is encased here in braid. This is coated cable spliced all the way into hollow core braid. Really good stuff. You can wind it into your rod guides, no problems whatsoever. And yeah, the thing is, it cannot be cut like mono. No chance this is actually gonna be cut through. So yeah. What you got going on today? Not much. Trying to survive. Got a bit of a stuffy nose in case you can't tell. Yeah, here we've got a rig that I think this rig will be dubbed the Very Tiger. Because same strength per wire as 1,000-pound cable, but it's only 400-pound because each strand is a lot thicker, making it stiffer but also a lot thinner, meaning there's just a lot less metal on your rig, which is definitely going to be an advantage. Hey there, Sturgeon. So yeah, I already know what this rig is going to be called. If anyone wants the Very Tiger. Hook is coated in plastic up till the middle, about the middle of the bend, so it'll penetrate just fine. And then the whole rig is plastic coated. And yeah, as you can see, it hooks up just fine. Don't stuff your nose with. You know, if I'm gonna stuff myself, if I'm gonna stuff objects up my nose, they're not gonna be small. Or up my holes, I should say. Anyway, Smarty. And yeah, like this, even a tiger shark is very unlikely to cut you off on this stuff. But it's a lot thinner than, well, it's like most sharkers wouldn't even fish cable this thin. But there's a reason, because this is 19th strand, not 49th strand. So each strand is a lot thicker, even on a relatively small diameter cable, which in my opinion makes this a superior material for, well, it makes it a superior material for getting bites, but it kinks up way easier. So I'm only gonna fish this if fish are being leader shy, and every bite counts. If every bite counts, this stuff for the win. If they're chewing, I'm gonna use heavy 49 strand, like 3mm at least, because that stuff isn't gonna kink basically ever, and I can probably catch 20 sharks on the same leader. This I might have to change after 1 or 2 fish. That's the difference. Like the thinner diameter cable personally. Well, if you want, I can build one of those leaders real quick. We'll be listening, but gotta drive, taking kids to school. Okay, Smutster. No worries. Yeah. Well, I do still have this cable, so I can rig you one up if you want. Rig one up for you if you want. And by the way, Sturgeon, thank you for telling me that hey goat, that 6 gills and 7 gills cut you off even on cable, because I did not know that. Because I will be doing some fishing for Greenland sharks up in Norway in the next couple of years for sure. And I would have just been using some comparatively light 49 strand, because I wouldn't have thought that those sharks will bite through cable. But yeah, they got some serious teeth. Yeah. I mean, I guess they also got chew through bone and stuff on the carcasses they feed on, though it kind of makes sense. Yeah, cheers, goat. Because I thought as a scavenger and more of a slow shark, their teeth wouldn't be as bad as a makos or white sharks or a tiger or a bull. But apparently that's not the case, and their teeth are just as bad. Yeah, Greenland sharks are gonna bite relatively the same. They are in the same family. Exactly. So probably I would fish similar rigs. And because for Greenland sharks, I'm gonna get very few bites anyway, I would probably fish similar style rigs. So here we have a shark rig that has already fished, but hasn't caught yet. This is actually galvanized cable. By the way, Sturgeon, galvanized cable is less likely to be bitten through than stainless steel. Stainless steel is easier to bite through than galvanized, especially the AISI 304, which you usually get. What I use is the 316, which is a bit tougher and stronger, but galvanized is probably still harder to bite through. It's just corrodes, you know. But this rig has fished 2 sessions, and I have no visible rust yet. So, yeah. For Greenlands and sleepers, I'd go heavy cable. Yeah. I'll have to see how I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna do the relatively thin but tough but thick wire cable, or if I'm just gonna do this kind of cable. And I have a special way of attaching shark hooks to the leader with just using wire and no crimps. Hey, Jamie. Yes, I know, but not everyone comes here every day, you know? Anywho, here's another one of our leaders. I can't wait to try out your leaders. Well, you still have a reel and some hooks waiting for you, man. It's not my, but yeah. So you like the thinner cable. So, well, where do I have my here's my 2mm stuff. So do you want mustard hooks, BKK hooks, or you want the cheaper the catch-all tackle hooks? Because I can do either all of them. I don't care. I have all of them. So I don't have as many of the BKKs, but yeah, the catch-alls, they're just cheaper. Personally, I really like the 18-0 catch-alls. If you think 18-0 is big enough of a hook, I honestly think the 18-0 catch-alls are stronger than the 20-0s. Just from how they're shaped. They seem like they would be tougher and less likely to straighten out. I don't think I'll need the reel since I don't really use spinning setups anymore. I haven't touched my spinning outfit in over a year. Okay. Well, here's a relatively light cable. This is 2.5 millimeters snelled on. This is one of my BKKs. This is like my favorite hook. But it also costs $15 for a single hook, which is wild. But if you almost never break off, I don't care. If I don't break off, yeah, hasn't even welcomed me, huh? Yes, for sure, since I'm trying. Okay. Well, Jamie, you're gonna get a mod too. And yeah. Well, I'll see if I can make just some, like, here are the 18-0s, you know? Sturgeon. Here's 18-0 hooks. Do you think this hook is large enough for your fishing, or would you want something bigger? Because just from how it's shaped, I really do believe this one to be stronger than the 20-0. And they're also sharper out of the box. Like the 20-0s, you're gonna have to resharpen. These 18-0s, they're already perfectly sharp. I have relatively small hands, just so you know. But yeah. They have about the gap of like a 14-0 BKK hook, I would say. Where's the leader? I built it yesterday. And I can absolutely build you some leaders with mono as well, if you prefer using mono rubbing leaders over cable. You can't use both at once. The big and the small ones, you can. The question is if it's gonna make sense. And you're more likely to deep hook fish and get them in the throat. Yes, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about throats. Like, these are the two hooks in comparison. I would say the wire is almost identical in thickness between these two. But because the 14-0 is a smaller profile, but has almost the same gap, as you can see, it should be stronger. I use 18-0s and 20s for both 7 and 6 skill. So, yeah. I mean, these hooks only cost a couple bucks a piece. They don't. You can what? It would be 5 of these cost as much as 5 or 6 of these are the price of one of the BKKs. Well, this size BKK is a bit cheaper, but yeah. All right, let's cut this cable. Then let's crimp it up. Where are my cable cutters? Because for smooth cuts, you really do need cable cutters. You don't want to use other kinds of pliers. I do have plenty of other pliers that will cut the cable, but it'll probably not be a smooth cut. Well, I can give it a try. Yeah, nope. Well, actually, that works because these cable wires are so thick, they're hard to mess up, let's say. They don't bend nearly easily. Good sized hook for catching bluegills. I know, right? I already got poked. That means it's a sharp hook. Copper crimp. I do have some slightly larger crimps that'll probably make my life easier. Yeah, it will. Although I don't have too many of these large crimps. And I will do an offshore loop on these. Or would you prefer just a single loop also works, of course. But I think they're gonna set a bit better on this cable with the offshore loop. Giving it some more freedom. Don't really see this ever closing. It's not that. Oh, you're laughing on the bluegill comment. Yeah. One. Two. Three. Four. Four crimps. Crimped 4 times, let's say. And to prevent this from it angling, I'll put some shrink tube over that locks a hook in here. So it has still some movement, but limited movement. That it cannot slide up and angle itself on here. I would say, what, 4-foot fight leader? That should be plenty. Technically, we only need this part, but it'll set better if we don't. If we're not shy about it. What's up? All right. Don't try this at home, kids. Why not? Okay. They gotta make tubing shrinks when it's cold. Mm-hmm. The handful of liter built up, bro. Okay. Like this is the idea that it has to. Okay, this size hook doesn't fall as well, but it's also, of course, it's a smaller hook. Okay, I think it needs a sharper edge, like my wrist instead of my arm. Yeah. Like this is a thinner cable that will, but yeah, it will kink easier. So you have to tell me, do you want the heavy stuff that doesn't kink, or do you want the thinner stuff that will still do the job but just kink a lot more? You sharpen those hooks. Depends on how sharp they are. If they're sharp enough already, no need to sharpen them. If they're not sharp enough, then yes, I do sharpen them. Like this hook is already pretty sharp. I would only need a handful of. Hey, Glacier Shark. Perfect name for right now, because we're building rigs for Arctic sharks. For 6 and 7 gill sharks and Greenland sharks and stuff like that. So this is how the first grimp. That'll still pull. Yes, it will. The problem is this leader will be messed up after a few fights, you know? Like if I use my heavier cable, if I build stuff with this cable, this will probably land you 20 sharks before you need to exchange it. This stuff might only catch 1 or 2 fish before it's kinked up. Let's do a mix of both to experiment. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, let's get the tubing on here. Is this the right size tubing? This might actually be too thin. It is too thin. Okay. Oh yeah, of course it is. If this one will be the right size though. Let's cut out the length of tubing. Voila. And mono, some mono or all cable leaders, like for the rubbing section, of course. The biting section, of course, will always be cable. Marlon, if when you come here, I'll take you to literally the easiest place on the planet to land 7 gills. Only have to cast like 20 feet out, okay? Huddle? Hi, Huddle 9. Well, if anyone wants to sponsor me a USA trip, okay. Let's seal it on here with fire, and then we can use our the hot water. We will need a little sleeve first on our connection. Make this leader proper. Where's my other box of shrink tube? Two-hour drive from my place. The 6 gill spots, 2.5 drive up north. It's from Germany to California, aren't too bad. Well, those sturgeon is in Oregon, yeah. Northern Oregon. That's a little bit of ways from Cali. But of course, I would like to experience the Cali shark fishing too. If I find someone to take me. Makos and whites and stuff. And of course, also 6 gills. Sometimes we catch the big sleeper sharks on halibut gear here in Yakutat, Alaska, but they're rare. Mostly guys get them deep, like 600, yeah. Unfortunately, wife locked down my spending until I finish taxes. Well, to be fair, she might have a point, right? Anyway, let's get my kettle boiling so we can seal off the reader. Oops. 600 feet. That's not that much. That's what, 200 meters? I mean, I fished for cod in that kind of depth before. Also good for rockfish and stuff like that. 600 meters, that would be some serious deep dropping. But yeah. For regular fishing, of course, it's still deep, but it's not that bad. Like I've casted into 450 feet from shore before, and that actually was fresh water. Yes, I've casted into 400 feet of water from shore easily in fresh water in Germany. Let's do one more like this. Maybe this time with the BKK. Glacier, that's awesome. There was a big mako that came around, so long range boat, my trip cut off a fish that was lurking. I was seen it. Makos in Alaska, that's wild, okay? Didn't expect them to go that far north. Then again, I mean, there's makos around the UK, but we have the Gulf Stream making our waters pretty mild. And okay, I mean, southern Alaska isn't Alaska. They've stolen like half of Canada's west coast. So maybe if it's that part of Alaska, that would make sense. No, in California. Oh, in Cali. Okay. Okay. Yeah, makos up in Alaska, that would be kind of wild. I mean, I'm sure you get an occasional mako, don't you, Sturgeon? In Oregon, I'm sure some makos will show up in Oregon from time to time. It's not that far north. Here we get white sharks rarely in August on warm years, but I've never heard makos. Wait a minute. Are you sure those are white sharks or misidentified salmon sharks? Because normally makos, at least over here, makos go a lot further north than whites do. Whites tend to stay further south than makos normally. I would use anything from like a couple pounds to 50 pounds or so. Okay, our kettle is boiling. Let's seal off this string tube. Just slowly moving it over the kettle. The steam. For just coating cable, I prefer the steam because it just gently hugs the. It doesn't. You're not gonna melt off or damage your string tube in any way. It just gently hugs it, making it a lot more stable. Yep, fully coated, the 19 strand. With bait attached, this is definitely gonna slay. It was the white shark. It washed up on shore. Yeah, we get makos sometimes, but not common. We have salmon sharks normally whenever there's lots of salmon. So you do actually get real great whites that far north. Okay, I mean, you do have a lot of seals, don't you? That's probably why. I mean, white sharks, they can tolerate cold water. They just need the food. Probably that's the reason. I mean, waters around the British. Yeah, I mean, even in parts of Norway have similar water temperatures in summer than like South Africa does, where white sharks are really common. So over local news weeks ago, yeah, for sure, there's have been documented white sharks, never makos, not yet. You had albacore tuna way further north and inshore this time last year, so maybe soon. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah, get after those albacore. Now I use acquire, and if I'm fishing the Mediterranean or anywhere local here, really anywhere in Western Europe, I probably use mostly conger eels. In Norway, also any other oily fish, of course. But like a big head or tail piece of a conger eel, anywhere between 4 and 6 foot long conger, great eating fish. And the last third is really bony, and of course the head you're not gonna eat. So these two pieces will definitely make good bait. And I know in Australia people really love to use freshwater eels, so I don't know why conger eels wouldn't work as shark bait. So yeah. And I like catching congers too. So yeah, this rig should work well. My port is the furthest north they have ever been documented in the Pacific, as far as I know. Yeah, it's also interesting how different fish behave, both in the eastern versus western Atlantic and the Pacific versus Atlantic. I mean, I think white sharks are only really common in the Pacific as far north as California, while on the Atlantic they're common. On the Western Atlantic they're common all the way up to like Cape Cod and southern Canada, while in the Eastern Atlantic, really like around Spain is as far north as they go. Like my best chance for a white shark would be either on the Canary Islands or in the Mediterranean. That's where I would be most likely to encounter a great white. Here we have this hook. I think it's like $5 to $10 it would be. I think I could sell, maybe let's do the half, like $7.50 for this 16 or or 16-0 mustard. So conger eels, by the way you catch them is basically like an eel or catfish bottom rig. Really easy, just beefed up a lot with cable leaders and heavy line and all that stuff. It's also been an unusually warm winter here, so that probably played a part with the white shark coming up this far north here. A guy got a video footage and saved the halibut the shark chopped. That is awesome. That's freaking awesome. I mean, well, he reported it and the official confirmation was white shark, rarely. That was like 12 years ago. Last year was crazy warm water though, with the tuna coming north, and there was an ocean sunfish offshore in Yakutat. Never heard of sunfish up here. That is wild, yeah. We do actually sometimes get sunfish in northern Germany. They're actually somewhat regular guests here. Of course, in the summer, but yeah. Like in the North Sea, sunfish are somewhat common. And even they even swim into the Baltic, interestingly enough. I mean, then again, they don't really have predators, do they? I mean, they do, but not a whole lot. Only really seals. I got boxes of 116 mustard hooks for $250 for my halibut longline. Yours looks a bit bigger. Mine are. Yeah, these are high carbon steel. I honestly like stainless steel hooks, but for shark fishing, they bend too easy. They're not strong enough for hardcore shark fishing. So for halibut, absolutely. I would like these are some 11-0 circle hooks. I'm definitely gonna be using these for halibut in Norway because I think they're a really nice size. But yeah, I think the sunfish has bad taste. Maybe it stores toxins from the jellyfish it eats. Yeah, I built up 5 or 6. Let me know what I owe you, bro. Okay, so this leader, we still need to finish it, but yeah, even if it faces the exactly wrong way, this is always gonna turn. But this is why I rigged it like this. Well, I'm just gonna do a mix of mustard hooks and do you want me to throw a BKK hook in the mix or not, Sturgeon? The BKKs, they're gonna be like $18 a piece. Or something crazy like that. That's why I don't want to just use them, because the whole rest of the leader would cost us much or more or less than the one BKK hook. I do believe they're worth it, but only if you don't break them off. Like if you don't break them off, I 100% think the BKKs are worth it. But of course, if you have any kind of break offs, you're just losing money. But if you never break off, these hooks will last a lifetime, unlike the mustards. Which is why I personally fish them, but yeah, again, only when I don't break off. because they stay sharp forever, unlike the mustads, and they never gonna bend open, unlike or break, unlike the catch-alls. They're super strong and stay sharp forever, but that comes at a cost. I'm gonna put a 600-pound sea lion on that leader as live bait. Well, if they ever open up hunt for sea lions, getting some of the blubber would be awesome. By the way, I think halibut would be great bait too. When I'm in Norway, I'll definitely ask out on the camps if they have any halibut carcasses, or if they could please keep any halibut carcasses for me when people catch halibuts and fillet them. Because I think that'll be great bait for Greenland sharks. Catch-alls and mustards are good. Okay. Yeah. I totally understand. And of course, I've got your sturgeon hooks as well, the fully barbless ones. That you wanted last year. Right, I will have to get some more shrink tubing soon as well. Before I forget about it. Because ring tubing can be really expensive. Like I paid like $1 per meter or per yard, so 3 foot for $1. That's what I paid for this stuff because I had to get it readily available. If you order it from China, of course, you can get it a lot cheaper, but it's gonna take like a month till you get it. Okay, sealed off, ready for shrink tubing. I'll definitely take a BKK rig to try out. Actually, screw that, build up a BKK. Okay. But do you want me to build the BKK with the light cable, or do you want me to build the BKK with the really heavy cable that will last forever? Because it's a hook that lasts forever. Maybe I should also do a leader that lasts forever, right? Or wrong? That would be my train of thought, but you might have a different idea. Because lasting forever is the whole reason I use the BKKs. Because I'll have to scrap like 5 of the mustads before I scrap 1 BKK. Which is why to me they're worth, and they cost only 2 to 3 times as much, but they last 5 times as long. And I'll take those loose hooks. You could just add that to that. I'll owe you for the leaders. Okay, also gotta get 2 more Helicat Revenge blackout rods here soon. Yeah. Like the BKK leader will probably come out to I don't know, it could probably something like $30 for 1 leader, which is pretty hefty, but yeah. But if you don't break it off, it lasts probably multiple seasons, at least 1 entire season it should last. Which most leaders definitely don't. Like so far, I literally never had to retire a leader I built with BKK monster circle hooks, not even a single one. The ones I didn't break off, I still have, and I'm still going to keep using them. But yeah, go heavy on that one. Okay. Go big or go home. By the way, to get the shrink cube on, I'm stretching it and then having it slide on here. That works pretty well. If it gets stuck anywhere. Because unfortunately, the shrink cube has a bunch of kinks in it. Which means you can't just slide it on straight. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, done. Oh no, dang. The stretch is killing me. Can you make the leader somewhat so I'll know which one? Yeah, I mean, you should be able to see it. It's actually super easy because you could only confuse the mustards and the BKKs, but the BKKs are silver and the mustards are black. Look. Any chance you'll be confusing these two hooks? I know they have a similar shape, but the color should give it away. That's a joke. Oh no. Oh crap. Okay, never mind, not a big deal. And yeah, that's definitely going to be good promotion for my leaders. And if I get to selling leaders on a regular, that'll help me to do more fishing trips as well. That'll be also definitely a big win for the channel. And anyone who likes my videos. Alrighty. Ah, okay, that's easy enough. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, they just have a different finish. Don't ask me why, but yeah. It does help. Otherwise, I would have to double check the log to make sure which one is which when I'm dealing with them. Okie dokie. Okay, time to shrink this down. Oh right, I'm gonna plastic coat your hook shank as well. But yeah, this is look, even if it comes facing the completely wrong way, it's even hard to do that. But this you know, this would be the edge of the mouth. Okay, but with a bait, this works even better. It still wants to turn and hit the corner. Shrinky, shrinky. And we're done. Coated leader. Just need to crimp up the end. Now, which size of shrink tube do we need to coat this hook in? The size we don't have too many of. Okay. Because yeah, I mean, if you don't want your hooks coated, I don't have to do that, of course, but it probably does make it a yeah. If fish are being leader shy at all, it will make your life easier. Oh, and do you want them barbless or with barbs, sturgeon? Yes or no to the barb? Should I crush / break the barbs off, or should I just leave them as is? Like on the mustards, for example, the barbs are likely to break. On the BKKs, they'll probably just be crushed. I don't know what your rules are for barbs when shark fishing. Oh, I need to charge my phone. And let's just do the let's just do this. Let's just let the steel do the work for coating this hook. No biggie on the coating of the hooks. Can leave them barb. Okay, gotcha. Okay, that should be done. Actually, it's not. For some reason, on this big shrink cube, scheme doesn't seem to work really as well. Or does it just take way, way longer? Ah, it just doesn't seem to work. Not properly, anyway. Alrighty. This hook is coated. I mean, this is also the light. Maybe I'll just coat the hooks on the light cable. So, you know, the thinner cable. Because that'll definitely work better if fish are already finicky. But the heavy duty stuff, I might just leave it uncoated. We'll see. And I'll have to get a charging cable and I have to take a quick bathroom break. So be right back. That actually works pretty well. You can see the phone there. Okay, first cable before I forget it. Oh, and sturgeon, do you use spider weights or breakaways for your shark fishing? Because there would be a slightly different setup I might do for your rubbing leader, depending on that. The bite leaders will stay the same, but yeah. Oh, and I do have the monster hook. If you want to, I can also build your leader with this bad boy. This hook is literally as big as my head, or as big as my face at least. Just for comparison, this is a 16-0. Demon Perfect Circle. And this is my 28-0 hook. But realistically, this hook probably isn't the best choice. It's just overly big. You're probably not going to get the best penetration. And yeah. But if you say, screw it, I can build a leader with that one. That one isn't even that expensive. Anyway, we can finish off or end of the cable here. Where did I put the other one? Anyway, I'll find it. But yeah. We usually just toss 12-ounce pyramids and bank sinkers. We rarely use spiders because they're so expensive. That's a little overkill for us here. Well, yeah, it's. And actually, those hooks are more likely to straighten than a normal sized hook is. Because science. So yeah. So this is the 14-0, the 18-0, but it's, you know, this is a 16-0. That's why knowing the hooks matters. This is an 18-0. This is a 14. This is an 18-0. This is a 16-0. Obviously, this 16-0 is bigger. Because then I might rig your leaders as a Shark Saber rig. Okay, actually, I know what I'll do for the catch-alls. I've got some cable. This is coated cable. It is galvanized, but what the hell? This stuff, I mean, it's hard to kink. Kind of. Well, not really, but it doesn't kink badly. I'll just splice this into some hollow core braid. Loomy! Loomy gloomy! Hey, by the way, have you and Sturgeon met up yet? I'll just splice this into some hollow core and do like a running leader. And I can sell this to you pretty cheap. I don't know what I'm gonna charge, but it's not gonna be much. So this will be for the rig you can lose without breaking the bank. I'll just splice this into probably some 300-pound hollow core. If it fits. I hope it fits, because heavier hollow core is a lot more expensive. Stick, I can't wait. And it'll end in like a metal ring, and the leader will be sliding. So if you break off with your weight, the leader will just slide off your main line, and the fish will only be left with the bite leader, not with all the rest. Because that is one of the issues we have as shark fishermen. Especially if you break off sharks somewhat frequently. This way, all of this and all your weight will be just left on the ocean floor, and the shark can take off with only the bite leader in its mouth. You'll understand the system in a bit. 1, 2, you need a bit more. And yeah. This will corrode eventually, but it should last a few. Yeah, and even the corrosion won't be a big deal. because it's plastic coated, and I'll splice it into hollow core. One, two, three. Okay. This will be a long arse leader. This is not really a casting leader, you know that, right? Although I have casted rigs like this, and it works surprisingly well, cable wind-ons. No, I mean, Lumi, have you met up with Hurton for Sturgeon to fish together? Because I know you were talking about that a while ago. Not yet. Okay, okay. But yeah, these are at least 20 feet of rubbing leaders, so that should allow a shark to wrap up a lot before you run into any kind of issues. So let's get the 300-pound hollow core. Let's see. Let's create an opening with this hook, with a needle or whatever. Let's see if we can splice this on without too much effort. Splice it in, I mean. Okay, nope. This isn't the right course of action. Maybe I need to splice through with a needle first. Splicing cable always is a little tricky. None of my reels can handle 300-pound hollow core. I know, it's just to be able to splice the heavy cable into it, you know? Well, it's not that heavy, but it's still pretty thick. You always need heavier hollow core for splicing cable than you would for splicing mono. Like the same diameter mono can go into thinner hollow core than cable can. And to make it a wind on, I need hollow core, obviously. Okay, let's see if this works. The start obviously is the hardest part. Not really. Then let's try another way. It has worked for me in the past. Nope. Okay, I'll have to overthink this. Maybe use 500-pound hollow if it doesn't work. Or I just won't do wind-ons. We'll see. I have to see about that one. But yeah. I just do a 200 mono top shot. Oh, okay, then a wind-on leader wouldn't be a big advantage, would it? I mean, I go all braid, so for me, I can just take the wind-on and splice it directly onto my main line. And maybe I'll just keep it straight cable with a swivel on the end, where you can tie on your mono. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. I would need 500-pound hollow. Anyway, what time is it? Oh, okay. Nice. Well, it's basically dinner time for me. So I might have to end this one prematurely. Oh. There also would be this rig with a BKK lead hook that I could just leave you as it is, if you want to, Sturgeon. Well, I mean, I would still end with rig rubbing leader, but this is, yeah. This is actually galvanized cable, but that means it's not gonna get chewed through no matter what. It'll just once the coating is damaged, it will start to corrode. But I have used zinc oxide on here as a sacrificial anode. So that will corrode before your actual cable will. But I can also just keep this rig and use it myself for some Greenland sharks. This cable is actually connected with no crimps whatsoever. Funny enough. It's only 7 a.m. here. Yeah, it's 6 p.m. here. And it would be time for my next meal, or I can just eat something real quick while we keep talking. Let's just maybe do that. I just have something cold that I can. I'm not really in the mood to cook anyway. I just get a plate and a knife and something from the fridge. BRB. I mean, yeah, in all honesty, if I was you, I would want stainless steel wire probably, just because corrosion is going to be a big deal. Oh, sorry, the tripod fell down. Oopsie whoopsie. That's perfect. It will corrode though. You will have rust as soon as the coating is roughed up. So you tell me, I can build you the same rig out of stainless steel cable. The stainless, of course, it's not gonna have any issues with corrosion. So yeah, this rig will work well as I go to eat, bro. I got my morning work meeting. 20 minutes anyway. Okay. But we can talk another time if you want. Stainless steel or not. But yeah. Well, I'll just eat in between my fishing tackle. Why not? But yeah. Lean protein and some veggies is all I'm going to be having. But yeah, if you're sure, tell me about the stainless steel or not thing. But because personally, I would want stainless steel in your because you say they do mess up the coating. Okay. Yeah. It's actually a whole new way of. Although I might still make you a new leader so you can test it out. But I have to get some stainless steel wire, not cable, wire and the drill, because I've got a plan to do with that. Well, you know something that I don't need to cook? Some broccoli to go with it, why not? Normally I don't eat processed meats. Good. I did have this already. So might as well eat it, you know? Mm-hmm. Any rig here, I'm gonna trash anyway. This is actually pretty good. Maybe this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll trash this leader. Because I mean it's not bad, but I don't know. I don't love it either. For some reason it doesn't seem to work 100%. Or does it? Oh, I don't know. It works okay. I think I'll be using heavier cable anyway, or the 19 strand. Yeah, after hearing that the 6 and 7 guilds also bite through heavy cable, this will be your hook. And I will order some stainless steel wire. I'll explain in a minute what I'm talking about. Because it seems to work better if I use wire to connect this hook instead of a crimp on this heavy cable. It'll work. This man's if it won't land the fish of a lifetime, it's not good enough for me. In case you haven't noticed. Like I already cut it into pieces. All my deployed shark rigs, they basically have to be able to catch a 2,000-pound great white, or I wouldn't want to sell them. Unless someone gives me very specific instructions on how they want their rig done. And it's different from what I think is the best idea. But yeah. I mean, the BKK rig, you know, if it would have been a different hook, I would have said okay. But because this is the most expensive, heaviest duty hook, it should also have an equally capable leader. I wouldn't have felt right selling you that one. So yeah. Well, I can maybe demonstrate to you the idea of this rig, but I have to get the right stainless steel wire in house first. Yeah, I'll still demonstrate what I mean. Okay. Are they all going to be cast out leaders? I was operating under the assumptions this big one would be yacked out. So, because they should be pulley rigs then, shouldn't they? Pulley or wind on. Hey, Wicked Weasel, what's up, man? If all of these are going to be casted rigs, then of course I'll keep that in mind. I didn't think these big rigs would be casted. Okay, it's the middle. I didn't hit the middle. The middle beats another rim. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. We only deploy from one beach at 500 yards out and 600 deep. But this is far drive for us, like, so we hardly go there. Oh, okay, so on a regular basis, you wouldn't. You're not gonna be deploying baits. That makes sense. So all of your rigs, they should be possible. You should be able to cast them, correct? So no pure deployment rigs. That's why we keep our leaders to 5 to 6 foot max length. Yeah, so unless it's a wind on, it cannot be too long. Gotcha. Also, the pier ain't that wide, so cast anything longer is kind of risky snagging the dog or another person. Okay. Have you ever tried the 2-rod or sliding rigs? Hey there, Jemmy. So right now I'm gonna show you how I will rig this, but I will use the wrong kind of wire, so I'll redo it once I've got all the right materials. I've done the sliding rigs, but didn't work very well off the pier for some reason, okay. And have you used the 2-rod method? Where you attach, you have like a running ladder rig, and you attach a second rod to the swivel. You cast your main rod out with the bail open on the second rod, and then you pull the swivel back through your weight to the pier, clip on your leader, and then pull it back on there. Gotta head into my meeting now. I'll be back. Okay, see you then. And actually, I'll show you how I'm gonna attach the hook then. Good, yeah. Anywho, can do that here, only allowing 1 rod. Even if the rod isn't baited, because there wouldn't be a hook on it, you know. Until the 1 rod is removed, you don't have a hook attached. But it depends on you. I know. I don't know the rules there still. I don't know how that would be. Be back in 30 minutes. Okay, see ya, Hurton. Just. All right, well then let's do some other shit till Sturgeon gets back. Ooh, this is even. Maybe it's kind of screwed up. No. Okay, that's gonna be fine. Good. All right, folks. Well, we have no one watching anymore, which is kind of sad. Well, I'll be snacking on these lentil cakes. Hey there. So today we've been mainly building shark leaders so far. Like this, baby. Nice. Actually, this needs to be redone. This is too big of a crimp for this rig. Well, let's just do that. Valerie, I think we shall. And this crimp should last. Just. Easy. Actually, yeah. I might not even want to crimp this at all. Or maybe I do want to. Yeah.
I'm intentionally showing my crimping might not be the best course of action here. Or actually, this will be a very good, almost perfect leader for excursion. If we can get this done. Hi there. Okay. Okay, let's get our big rippers to have a grip. Alrighty. Alrighty. Six foot. Oh. All right. Let's make sturgeon one more. Of our lighter wire. We are rigs of the very hammer, sorry, the very tiger rig, which is how I'll be calling these moving forward. That'll be my marketing name, the very tiger. Right. Let's do another one with the. Let's try if this maybe works better in that combination. Maybe only going through once is smarter. I'm already starting to doubt it, but we'll see. Okay, that ship has sailed. Oh no, fuck me. Okay, I accidentally cut the hook. My crimpers have a cutting function, and the hook tip got stuck in them. So I cut the hook point off. That's no good. That's really no good. Yeah. No. This isn't gonna work well. Or, well, actually, yes, we'll try this out. Yeah, no. This hook doesn't really have any play to speak of. Given fish, we're not going to make this bite section super long. Need this size, or can we go one smaller? If we stretch this out a bit, it should honestly be enough. Voila. Yo. Alrighty. Let's code this cable. Alrighty. Hi there, Sturgeon, what's up? Okay. Yeah. Well, should I just tell you now then why I'm gonna wait for some of the builds, or let's say show you, because I don't think it's pretty hard to explain. And by the way, I built you a different kind of rig for this. I attached the hook a bit differently, so you can try it out. Honestly, with this kind of cable, I'm not a huge fan. This is my go-to for J hooks, but for circles, I prefer doing it a different way. But I thought maybe you would like to have the option to try this one out too. So yeah. You get plenty time to ship it all. Yeah. All right, well, let's do the connection where I'm gonna need probably not a screwdriver, but a drill and some special wire for it. But I'll demonstrate this with aluminum wire. Because this way, yeah, I find it on the big hooks at least, you get the best hookup ratio. This is a very specific method that I learned when I didn't have crimps, when there were no crimps available. So you're gonna then have some wire and your hook. Put the hook through. And now we're gonna start wrapping it with the wire. Wait. And you'll see in a minute why I want a drill for this. So, and I've already crimped on a swivel for obvious reasons. But basically under tension, the hook gets twisted and you're twisting a wire around the hook and the leader that you put through the eye of the hook. This way you get a direct connection and don't have the wiggle room of a crimp. You don't need an eye or anything. Yeah, and then you just would have a drill that keeps twisting this hook while you just wear gloves and have some stainless steel wire that gets twisted around. And this stainless steel wire and the drill is what I need to get. Because probably I can borrow the drill, but I need to get the wire. Okay, so this is how it looks. And yeah, for some reason this connection just always wants to fall around. And this is really the way to attach circle hooks. Wire. This is the knockoff version, which definitely doesn't work nearly as well. But yeah. 23 views. Wow. It's going, it's going. I do also have a realtor service, but I don't really feel up to it right now. Anywho, this is probably a rig I'll just keep to myself then. This is honestly this is already way over 6 foot. But yeah, I mean, this just always wants to grip. This is what I'll use for Greenland sharks up in Norway. Yeah, before I finish the leaders for sturgeon, though, I'll have to talk to him again. There's a couple parts I'm not so sure about. Hey. Okie dokie. Well, let's make some catfish rings. Or European catfish. Let me get some 8 to 10 circle hooks. For BKK monsters. Slicing is going good. Let's be real. People also want to be rigging. They don't just want to fishing. If I have people like sturgeon who can catch some massive fish on my gear. Okay. Right. My hooks will probably be in here. All my other hooks. Monster Circle 8.0. Honestly, the 8.0 should be big enough. I'll make some 8.0 rig for like a smaller. Yeah. Unless if I can find some 10.0s. And then again, if I want to bait them directly with night crawlers, I would prefer having the 10.0s. Puka. 12.0s. There's plenty of 12.0s, but I don't want 12.0s. They're a bit too big for what I'm going to do. 8.0s would work, but I think I'll feel more comfortable having the 10.0s. Well, let's just build one rig with the 10.0, with the 8.0s, whatever. This is gonna be a rig to fish with night crawlers for European catfish. And this will be a all cable rig, but we're gonna use Coda, that 1mm cable. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, yeah, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move again. Which size? Yeah, this will work fine. This size shrink tube. Honestly, it wouldn't really hurt if I coated it before, would it? No, not really. Okay. I'll just do that now. Let's coat our cable before we do anything else. It's a 1.6, probably. Almost looks too big still. It's shrinking. With adhesive. No. No. Let's do it over here. Well, let's just try if this shrinky is gonna work. Doesn't look like it does. Nope. Okay. In that case, I have to postpone this leader build. But in that case, I'll also add the shrink tube to it right now because the hook. I don't want this coming undone. This kind of sucks. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, fresh air. Yes, baby. Hi there. What's up? And who are you? Say hello. Honestly, once I finish Sturgeon's leaders, this will be enough. I'm getting a bit tired. It'll definitely be enough for the day. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Don't have any shrink here, do I? That's okay. That is okay. Okay. It's okay. Okay, this is my baby. This rig. This one I'll be fishing myself. It's still in very good condition. This is the 1 point. Hmm. We need the 1.2 millimeter shrinky for that stuff. Okay. This one will go on. Make ventilator. Well, we can already crimp our swivel on here. If you still have one of those, even might not. I might have to do some stuff to get. I might have to. Oh, okay, there we have another one. Never mind. One type. Okay. Hi. Sturgeon, are you back or is it someone else? Either way, welcome. Okay, 26 views, nice. Oh, I completely forgot the aluminum crimp. Well, that should be fine. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, about that. Okie dokie. This would be a nice leader as well. I need to talk to Sturgeon again before we can do the final work here. Alrighty. Oh, hello. Let me refresh that chat. Nope. Okay, yeah. Once I have my wire, I can put a hook on this one as well. £1,000 cable will be the heaviest we'll be using for now. I might even go heavier in the future, but yeah. Okie dokie. Okay. All right, folks. Well, I have to take a bathroom break, and yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back soon. See y'all. See y'all in a minute. All righty. Well, I'll get some water. One sec. Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I hope you come back soon, Sturgeon. Hi there. Hi, I'm waiting for someone, for a customer. And yeah. Here we have some conger eel rigs. Yeah, this hook doesn't work like a circle, but it's still, that's not the point. It's gonna work anyway. Mhm. Oh, fuck. Okay. Right.
All right. Let's see, does this. Let's see if definitely seems to work better for some reason than other ways of attaching this hook. I mean, I don't know if it's better than the loop. Yes, this is the way. This is the way. This is just aluminum. Yeah, baby. This is the way. Copper wire would also work for this.
Stainless steel or copper would be the way to go. Look at it. Yeah, baby. Don't hate me. I just created a new method of attaching hooks. This is innovation. This is some true freaking innovation. Copper, yeah, I'll have to think about if copper or stainless steel is better. Well, stainless steel has advantage. Yeah. Probably I'll go stainless steel just to be safe. But either one will work just fine. Look at it. Hi there, Sturgeon, are you back now? Michael, hurting for Sturgeon. Are you there, man? That'll be what we'll do. Hi there. Oh, let me refresh the chat. Well, if you're not hurting for Sturgeon, let me know who you are. If you're uncomfortable with sharing that, don't. But yeah, I'm happy now. I wasn't having a great day, but I have. I mean, it's not a true, but I've already had this method, but I've kind of made an innovation. I found out that this method works even on leaders where it really shouldn't work. So another step that I'll do is I'll get myself some even heavier cable and see if it still works just fine with like some 2,000-pound cable or stuff like that. Because this hook just wants to turn. It just wants to turn. It's so much work to keep it from turning and hooking up perfectly. Awesome stuff. This is awesome sauce. I just need different wire. Here, not this aluminum stuff, because this will fail eventually. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's good to have. I mean, yeah, this is a revolution for wire and for combining wire and circle hooks. It truly is. This is still a crimped leader. Let's see if with a much softer cable, but I've got a feeling that it's, even though it's way softer cable, this is still not gonna. Okay, it works just fine. It works just fine. On this combination, it works too. But yeah. If I tried this connection with stiff cable like this, it would not work. I could trash it right away. But with this kind of connection, which is all, it looks almost the same, but it's not the same. Yeah, I'm so happy I found this method. And yeah, we're just gonna need some stainless steel and or copper wire. And then we can make some badass leaders. That will absolutely play some monsters. And yeah. Nice. Okay. This one, for example, it doesn't really. This one, for example, it doesn't want to turn like the other rig wants to. So I might have to scrap this. Of course, with the swivel, it still works. It's still gonna work. This is still gonna fish just fine. But yeah. Without the swivel, this would not work. It needs a swivel for this hook to do its job. If the swivel is deactivated, then you only have a 50% hookup chance, which kind of blows. So yeah, with the swivel it works just fine, but we'll have to see. Anyway, Herd Pen for Sturgeon, where are you, man? At 20:30, I'll end. In a half an hour, I'll end it, Michael. Sorry, bro, but I'm tired. I need a break. Alrighty. Chats. Right. We've chatted on locked up drag fishing. Amateur angler, Spencer Wonder, Eric McCartney, Lumi, Dylan Weir, locked up drag fishing, myself, Facebook user. Okay, is Michael somewhere on here? Yes, Michael Matt. I'm not gonna dox his name. Can't save myself, but it's too late. Okay, I've just messaged Burton for Sturgeon on Messenger because he said he would be back more than half an hour. What? Yeah, he said he would be back 40 minutes ago. So yeah, I'll have to make some orders and then in the future our rigs will be superior. Oh la la. Right. This is such ingenious. The thing is, I came up with this when I had no choice. I had to find a way to connect circle hooks without anything else. And I had to find a way to connect cable without using crimp. That was really tough. But now I have a method that fixes a lot of the issues I've had in the past. And I know about a way how I can use it really
quickly and efficiently as well. It's not going to take a long time like it did back then. Oh. Okay. The pliers are here. Okay. This connection. It's amazing. Of course, I'll put shrink tube over this, but yeah. Hey, remember do. Don't stand up and don't mess up like the foot. My heart is run. Well, I'll sharpen this hook for Michael. But I don't know where my sharpener is right now, so not right now. Talk to me. Not okay. God's I won't leave. You're not a burden to me. Okay, 15 more minutes left, Michael. Honestly, oh, my knees are starting to hurt. I'm just gonna end it now. I can, yeah. It's no rush with Michael either. So,
Have a good one, everyone. Peace out. Cheers.